next night. We're back tonight again. We started in the night, now we're back in the night, and we're still getting some good snow out there, starting to accumulate. And our guest told us that it took him an extra 15 minutes to get here, and normally he would be here in a half hour. It took him 45 minutes. So the roads are definitely starting to get a little icy out here. And it's actually our first one of the year. Are you guys going to sit down that fast? They are really liking sitting. But we still got that match out there. I'm not sure at the numbers right now. Perhaps JM or Kathy could let us know what's at. Just text Judy and let her know, and we can let you guys know where we're sitting. That'd be really cool. We just want to thank everybody out there that's here that's new tonight. And perhaps we've got people out there that don't even know much about the North American Bear Center and just on this site. We welcome you. What we're going to do next is we're going to have a guest here that has been instrumental in putting a fair amount of the Northwoods Ecology Hall's bases together. Not the bases that you see here. He did do the railing around it. But Don, you want to come out here? And we're excited to have Don here. He drove from Embarrass, Minnesota. And it takes some time to get there. Obviously, 45 minutes wasn't a good drive, right?
It was a little bit longer.
And but he's used to driving in that kind of weather. It don't bother him.
No,
right?
True Minnesotan.
Yeah. So he's from Minnesota. Let's take a seat and we'll just have a little bit of fun. I want to say it was probably, I don't know, what would we say, December when I started talking about building the aquarium base and the aquarium stand?
Yes, it's shortly after we moved up here, so right about December was my first time coming in here to see this area.
Okay. And he's done a fair amount of work around here now. He actually did a wonderful job on the aquarium stand and the top. And, that was a fun thing to do, don't you think?
Well, it was, and then to see it all come together, you putting the aquarium in the water and the terrariums up, it was really enjoyable to see it.
Now, when you first came in this room, it was kind of an empty room, wasn't it? Kind of just carpet and walls?
There was a lot of carpet and walls, but there was a little bit of the Four Seasons scene behind us that was done. But I was able to see Ryan and Peter finish that display, and they do pretty incredible work.
Were you able to watch Maureen do the painting on the back wall? She did a fabulous job. Did you see that?
No, that was all complete before I got here.
Oh, it was. Okay. And Randy actually built this base back behind us. That's Sharon's husband who built the base and the front walls of this area. And then he built all the bases that are underneath the animals here also. But when you take a look at it, how do you think it's coming?
It's coming along good. I know everything that we've done so far with the different bases have been to replicate what was done previously. But I like the way everything has come together.
Yeah, and I know you've had a family here. What does the family think of the Bear Center and the Ecology Hall?
Actually, we've had all 5 of our grandkids and quite a number of our children here, and it's been impressive to them, even the younger ones. They've come in, and especially the hands-on displays that they can get involved in for the kids. Okay. They very much enjoyed that.
Alrighty, and that's really neat to hear. Did you guys hear that? The hands-on display. The kids like that area. They really do. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take a little bit of a ride and go into from the Northwoods Ecology Hall into the North American Bear Center. And we're going to talk about what we're going to be doing in the North American Bear Center to make it look very similar to the Northwoods Ecology Hall. And you've got a project that you're going to be tackling coming up, and it's going to be doing what?
Well, there's 8 different displays out there now that are currently have green carpet on, and the pictures and different things, information about the bears are hung on those. I'll be remaking those again with the same wood displays, replicating what was done previously. I believe there's 8 different displays ranging from 20 to 30 feet long. So I'll be making the new displays and bringing them in as we complete each one, so we can slowly make the shift to the new displays.
And that'll actually help us stay open while he's doing that so that we can entertain groups, because as a nonprofit, we really can't afford to lose the small amount of groups that we get in here in the winter months. But you're going to be doing those displays. You're thinking that you build those all from scratch, correct?
Yes, that's right. Yep.
And I think no plans?
No plans, just kind of telling me what you wanted, and then we go in and we do it.
So you're shooting off the hip?
Pretty much.
But you've been a carpenter how many years of your life?
I've done carpentry for over 40 years.
Okay.
built some pretty big houses and additions. So this has been kind of nice seeing something like this come into fruition.
Okay. It's just kind of fun. I know that when one of your sons came with his wife, they really enjoyed it. They really enjoyed the place a lot.
Yeah, and I know there's some other ones, some friends of ours that came, and he couldn't even get everything read in the 3.5 hours we were here, and he just so enjoyed it. He wants to come back.
Because he couldn't get everything read.
He couldn't read everything, and there's so much information you can find out about bears and wildlife that and we watch the movies in the theater area, but he wants to come back and he wants to finish up going through the whole place.
That's amazing when you think about it. You hear stuff like that, and you know that, you know what, it's a big place. It really is. We're also going to be building, if you guys know, we're going to be building a protective fence up here, just very similar to that, because we actually have kids climbing up and going into the winter scene. They literally go stand in the winter scene. We've had a couple do that, and it's because they're so drawn to the snow. They never seem to go on the spring side or the summer or the fall. They always want to go to the winter. The moose, where did they want to go?
Right into the snow.
And the polar bear.
Into the snow.
I guess that's why we're up here. We like the snow. See? And they come up here and they just got snow on their mind. So I'm going to hand the microphone over to Judy first. And Judy, do you have any questions for Don?
Yeah, now that we're talking about snow, I want to ask you about the moose. You know, before you put that I'll call it a railing, although that's not really what it is. Barrier. Okay, barrier. You know, obviously we had the problem with the kids, you know, they want to touch and whatever. How did you come up with what's there? I mean, I know Scott, you know, told you a few things, but how did you come up with it?
It was kind of a combination of we analyzed what the problem was. I mean, we knew what that was, and then we talked over different barriers, like if we were going to put up a plexiglass, but we didn't want to do that. And through just talking it over how to best do it, we came up with the cable system that we have now, and we implemented it, and it turned out, I think, pretty sharp. We've had a lot of good compliments on it, and I think it's, for the most part, has done what we had designed it to do, keep the kids out.
Well, yeah, it does. It does keep the little kids and the big kids out, and you see it, but you really don't see it. I mean, you kind of look right beyond it, and I know there's going to be some more words there, and people are going to be able to read those words and see those pictures on that stand without really being interfered with. But I got to ask a follow-up to what Scott talked about in the other building, the project you're going to be working on this winter. Where are you going to do all this work, and how are you going to get this stuff here? You were talking about, like, I just got to ask the questions that these people are thinking. You said 20 and 30 feet, and that's kind of, to me, that's kind of big. Where are you going to put it together, and how are you going to get it here? And just those simple practical things that those of us who aren't carpenters have just no clue about.
Well, when we bought our house up here, we did end up with a nice heated shop. It's 2,400 square feet. So the different displays won't be built in 30-foot long sections. They will be built in 10-foot sections and made to be wheeled together, pieced together. And so those will come here in an enclosed trailer. I have an 18-foot long enclosed trailer. So we'll bring probably one or maybe two displays at a time up here as we complete them.
Yeah, sweet. And are they going to be on wheels?
Yes, the wheels that we currently have underneath the displays now, the carpeted displays, we're going to reuse those. I've already...
Saves money.
It does, and I figured a way we can implement them underneath there and make them very sturdy.
Oh, good. Good. Are you done, Judy?
Yeah.
Sharon, have at it. You like to keep Sharon awake.
Yeah, it's trying to keep me awake is a task in itself. Some of the things and that the cable system that you put up is nice. Will you be doing it around the deer or the caribou? Simply because, for whatever reason, adults like to sit on them. Well, you know, slant, and then the kids run.
We've talked a little bit about actually the display back behind us about doing the same thing. So we'll have to see, what the consensus is if those need to be done. But being that we've already figured out how to do it with the moose display, it won't be hard to implement that same thing and make them all look the same.
For the units that you're making for the older part, will there be protection around those also? I mean, like what you did with the polar bear.
I don't know that those will have anything, being that it'll have some of the photographs and different information about bears. I don't know that those would be needed as much, but things like when they come into the displays with grasses and the snow especially, those are the things we have to have. And I think one of the things somebody had mentioned having a bucket of snow out so that they can touch that bucket of snow instead of touching the displays, and I think that'd be a very good idea.
That is a good idea, and actually what we could do is have an intern or somebody there and just throw it on them. When they come in, just give them a toss of it, make them feel like they're in a wedding or something. And say, we knew you were going to touch it, so here you go. We've got it beat. We're one step ahead of you. What do you think? We could get a snow machine. Yeah, yeah, we do. That's right. I'm going to give it back to Sharon. She's got another question. What do you mean? Oh, good. Another question. Good.
I think Scott first mentioned right behind us, and he mentioned again the snow scene. Kids like to head up to that snow scene or whatever, and we've caught a couple of them. Oh, stay back. I picture what you're going to do over here behind us if you got that in your head already, and I kind of think you do.
It'll be pretty much on the same order, but we'll take the brick off, the landscape block off on a few strategic spots, and we'll come out with a supported piece of 1x material, and then go up from there with a piece, and then do the cable. So it'll be out in the front of the display, the same as what we did with the moose display. I've got it somewhat worked out, but I want to try a few of them and run it by Scott, the different staff here, and just make sure it's what they want. I just want to put a few of the little pieces together like that and show them.
What he really means is you're going to run it by Lynn to make sure that he likes it, and that's an important thing because you know what? If Lynn ain't happy, nobody's happy, and we want him to have that vision of the way he wants to see stuff, which is very important, I think, to get that vision across. Don is also aware that we got to have this done well before the opening of our season so that we can have everything ready to go in there. We got to have the walls taken down. They're not going to be easy to take down. It's going to be really cool to see those things get built and get in here. I'm excited about that, and the look it's going to give the Bear Center. They're going to be how tall?
They're going to be approximately 4 feet tall, and I think, like you're alluding to, is that it's going to really open up the Bear Center so you can see across, but it's also going to give the ability because of the angle and the lowness of the pictures, for adults and children to have a better look at all the information there.
Nice. Now, do you do all the finishing on these, or are they pre-finished? Sand them down, put a nice coat of varnish on them. Talk about how you do that.
Well, they'll come up a foot straight first, and then from there they'll angle. And I'll be getting raw plywood and doing all the cutting and putting them together, and then we'll light sand them and put on 3 coats of varnish to make them complete.
Nice. Any questions you guys have?
I'm excited.
Yeah, Don, do you have any questions about the Bear Center? I think you know a lot about it. We talk about it often.
No questions. I've been around here for quite a few months now, and I think I got a lot of them answered.
And actually, Don met Lynn a fair amount of years back at the Wildlife Research Institute. In fact, I've got a picture of that on my refrigerator. And Don had a mustache then. And I looked at it and I kind of laughed to myself because time goes by so blasted fast. And Lynn Lynn really hasn't aged. He really looks good. He hasn't aged since that picture. It's really amazing. I think he's being preserved somehow. I'm not sure how, but I think he is, because when I look at him, I'm like, man, he really doesn't look any different. He really doesn't. But he's going to be here in about, 45 minutes? And Donna's going to be here again. and I would guess about 45 minutes. I told Don I wouldn't keep too long, especially with the weather. But as projects are going along, we'll get together with Don and we'll talk to him, get ideas from him on what he's doing. When we're bringing new stuff in, we'll try and let you guys know out there what's going on. But it's going to be really a great transformation to see the Bear Center turn into the look of the Ecology Hall and take nothing yet away from the Bears, because that's why we're here. The Bears and the Ecology Hall and everything going. But the main reason why we're here and sitting in this room is because of the donations you guys gave last year. And right now we're dealing with a match, and I don't know if you've got a text yet. Maybe I should go look at my phone, or maybe you can grab that. I hear it in there beeping like crazy. Maybe somebody's let us know. But that match is real important to us, and you know, although we're moving along, the night's going by, you know, pretty fast. Oh, thanks, Judy. I've got a few texts here. Let me see what I've got. It says here we've gotten $1,000 since 6 o'clock, so that means we got about $2,000 to go. So we're coming along there. That's cool. We're going for the $3,000 area. That was the match. And I'll tell you what, we're excited about it. And we've got, how many hours left now? 5 hours. 5 hours. And already Sharon's face. No, it's not about being technical. It's about being precise right now. And I totally understand where you're coming from. Because when you look at Sharon from last night to tonight, her face, color of her face started to match her sweatshirt. I mean, it's hard to tell the difference right now. But you know, she's doing a great job for her first year, don't you think, Don?
I think she looks great. Yeah. Still smiling, too.
Yeah, she is. She is. And of course, you can definitely tell by the color in Don's face, he hasn't been up that long. I mean, no way, you know, because it does show. You can tell when somebody's been up the period of hours we've been up, right? I mean, you can feel it. So we just got to be careful when we go out in the snow that we don't blend in. But anyway, we thank you for coming, Don. We're looking forward to having that done, and it'll be fun. And gals, anything else you got? Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be really nice.
Thank you for doing all the work, because it's beautiful and it matches the work that Randy's done, and it's just super when you walk in here and see all this beautiful woodwork. So thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, when you really think about it, really Sharon and Randy kind of set the stage for how the place was going to look down the road in the future. They really did. You're trendsetters. Whoa!
It's what Lynn began with.
Yes.
It was something he wanted.
Yep.
And probably like Don, Lynn says I want it this big, like this big, like this big, like this way and that way, and that's pretty much, you know, how it got done. And you know, we didn't have a big budget back then, and so the panels that you're replacing were an excellent idea at the time, and they've done well for the last 8 years. And now to upgrade it is just going to be, so come see us, because it's going to look very neat in there.
I kind of liken it to the walls are decent. They're really nice. When they were first put in and I first seen the Bears Center, I thought, wow, they really look nice. I still think they look nice. I don't think that they're something that's ugly by any means, but it's kind of like a shirt. You know, you wear it so long, and pretty soon, you know, my wife's saying, how much longer are you going to wear that shirt? I mean, it gets pretty beat up, pretty tore up. These are not beat or tore up. It's just the Ecology Hall set the timetable to those is what happened. So thank you again for coming. You have a safe drive back. I won't be behind you for about 5 hours. So 5.5 hours, right? And Don, you have a great night. And you guys out there, we'll be looking forward to seeing you in about, 40 minutes now? 40 minutes. We'll be looking forward to seeing you with Dr. Rogers and Donna. And I know Lynn was looking forward to it, because he was writing an update when I reminded him, and he was just about ready to fall off the table when I said, remember now, you got to be here at 8. And he's like, oh, that's right! So he's pounding on that keyboard to get that update done so that he can make it here. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you shortly. Bye now.